Okay, good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Don't blink is your boy Ink. Welcome home to the show. I'm going to be also having a wonderful day on this 23rd July 2026. It is a beautiful sunrise this morning. I am so happy, so lucky because I did get up later. It's like, oh, I missed it, but we didn't. So this is actually pretty freaking fantastic. We're making some videos. I'm pretty tired of freaking phone, but I'm going to see my father in 2 hours, so I have to stay up. Sunrise, 24th July 2026. Yes, I'm gonna get something because it is very cold outside. It's very cold. So yeah, so right now it's later than that. I try to sleep. I thought it was gonna be a sunrise. Obviously speaking, I don't know if there is. I think it's looking nice because there is the coloration of the cloud via the sun, which is pretty nice. But hey, I gotta go to my father's house. We have a monster. We're good. But yeah, it's tough because oh my god, I would like to sleep, but okay, I gotta tell my father that I'm sleeping during the day because it makes me to be like him. And as long as he believes that he doesn't ask questions, I'll get in trouble. I'll get in trouble and I'm happy and I sleep well. Right? Plus I'm not gonna see him for 2 weeks because he's with the girlfriend, but they've been together for 28 years. Yeah. So it's the same. So before we start, let's have a bon appetit. A good morning, a breakfast, because this is, yes, the end of the day, but still breakfast. We didn't have the most productive of the evening. I was supposed to stream, I was supposed to do a different game. Started playing Space Fleet. I know Space Fleet because it's really good. And that's pretty much it. We might be playing that again. But before that, we're gonna have strawberry and French. So strawberry and strawberry in different language. I don't know if you say strawberry in Spanish. So we have farmers market. I'm gonna take them right away. Like I said, I'm so thankful because I was really fearful that I know it wasn't really chocolate. If it was blueberry, I would have not liked it. So that's my mom for knowing me, or just being lucky. But they said be positive. So how did you guys sleep? You guys slept okay? You guys are doing okay? You guys are good? I'm pretty happy though because Mm. 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 This is so good. Um, that is so dumb. Mm. Because that is a usual muffin batter. You just added strawberry, but it works so well. Mmm. That was delicious. Well, there's a taste of strawberry, but it's not too pronounced. And third of all, strawberry often have like seed. I love them, so when you eat, actually crunching. Mm, 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 mm. Sometimes it's thinking why I'm gonna eat my breakfast at my dad's house. I wanna be too full because it's a free meal. You know the best thing about a free meal? You gotta be grateful. You know the worst thing about a free meal? We have to enjoy it. Until apps full. I really like this because I finished at 4:40. Finish a run home. I'm not sure where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was all it. That was good. That was great. They're delicious. That was one of the best moments I've had in a while. I'm not a muffin guy. Why? Like, I when I was growing up, I said I wasn't allowed like sugar or healthy food. Oh, it was only healthy food. And muffin was one of those things that I could have. Muffins was the greatest because I had a waffle. Every breakfast I can remember is good. But then I started obsessing over it. So growing up, breakfast was super important. Why? I was taking medication, my ADHD. My medication cut appetites, which is not good because your doctor telling a kid you might not be able to eat. The kid, who is 6 years old, is freaking out, and you don't know if I'm really hungry or not. You know, if it's a placebo effect of being told that you're not being able to eat. But what I can tell you is the medication didn't affect me before the breakfast, so I would eat breakfast, and I would eat supper. I think we only miss me meal, and now we're doing one meal per day, so I just like one meal a day. Of course, I'm snacking, but still. So, I thought I was supposed to do a lot, but we did a lot, which is streaming. We streamed the same game for 5 hours. Yeah, the file is 5 hours long, and we finished. I want to say we finished the tournament at 10, maybe 10:30. It was good. It was good. B-O-A-A-I. There's some people when cool don't know that. My apologies. Okay. Just need to upload a little bit. Still upload a little bit and I need to pee. Yeah. So that was a good for example, look, yesterday we did 5 hours and 12, 17. But then the issue that I have is everything is so small, everything file is so small. If you don't feel like it's worth it, it's not worth it, but it's more work. I've been so lucky lately with the fact that we've been crazy about uploading and being on schedule and doing good and everything. And it's still the case, don't get me wrong. Yesterday I didn't upload enough. Today I'm going to be uploading too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my first house. And I'll be uploading there, but I'll also be uploading here. And the goal is to go, the perfect, if I'm being honest, the perfect goal would be to have a lot more, like a shit ton to upload. And then when I come back, I can go sleep. And the thing that I had to upload won't upload. See, I wrote day 282, everything 282. Then I tried to copy and paste, but I forgot to copy and paste. Wakey. Didn't go to bed yet. You're not supposed to be tired. Descendez poème, coulons nos veines, viens vers moi. I see, it's so simple because I told you guys that when I'm tired, I speak French. All I have to do is sing a song in French, and you think, oh, yo, he's really tired. He's speaking French, but then, am I really tired? Am I aware that that makes me look tired? Huh? Look at this. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous, dude. When you think about the movie that you enjoy, they're often unreliable narrator. And to me, that's one of the funnest possible possibility. I'm just gonna repeat. Why is it the funnest? I watched a movie 2 days ago, which wasn't yesterday, it was the day before, so I don't know, it was like, how's it 2 days ago? No, it was yesterday. Well, yesterday for us because we didn't sleep during the night, but today is Thursday. But Tuesday because that was Tuesday night. We watched I Kill Giants. The whole story is this girl that believes she killed giants. The girl who believes that she can do everything, and then it's not true. So because she's a narrator, you would think that is true, but it's not true. So when you realize it's not true, you're like, okay, well, the movie presents itself as being true, so you're disappointed it's not true. But given that giants aren't real, so you know that this was bullshit, right? So why are you disappointed? Because the this story was so good, it didn't matter if it was real or not. Were you entertained? The greatest line of Russell Crowe's career, dude, which is in Gladiator 1, I'm not entertained, where you're literally slave killing slave, and they gave out a good fight, and it was a really good fight, and then the king says, well, Caesar says, Julius Caesar, in French we call him Jules, but in English you guys call him Julius. Julius Caesar says, kill him. And then Russell Crowe's like, no, dude, we fought our heart out. I won the fight, but I didn't. It wasn't a total victory. Like, I won also, right? So why are you wanting to kill him? Are you not entertained? Because if I don't kill him, there's no problem. If I do kill him, then you need that to be entertained. So the whole battle didn't matter, right? And this is when you do like the unreliable narrative. This is when you tell a lie or you tell the truth, right? So you have a good story and you tell this amazing story, right? This amazing story comes at a price of this is not true. right? And you're like, okay, well, I told the story that's lasted for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It's a great story, but it's not true, right? So then at the end, you hear that, hey, the whole thing was a joke, right? And then you're choice between, well, I really enjoyed that story, everything to that story, or hey, this was a lie. So what part do you focus on? The fact that you were entertained, and the fact that it was a lie. I was watching this movie this morning, which is what stimulates this, which is Easy A with Emma Stone or Emily Stone, her real name, and this big girl that does that, right? And there's a rumor she looks like a SLUT. I'm not gonna say it because I do like her. I do like Gwen Stacy more than anything else, right? And yeah, and because that movie was good because I don't know, it makes you question reality. Like she was, she was not popular. She was like unknown almost. Like nobody knew who she was. Nobody cared about who she was. And then she did a rumor where she makes herself look bad, and then everybody knows who she is. Does it as a reliable narrator? You create a narrative that is worse for you. For example, woe is me, right? So people notice you. Then you're like, no, my life isn't that bad. People are like, oh well, it was fun thinking that your life was bad. Like, what the fuck? Are you sad my life isn't as bad as you thought? And then you question reality, you question truth, right? The worst thing about lying is what? The worst thing about lying is you're not saying the truth. It's not getting caught, it's not hurting people's feelings, is you thought you had to lie. Because nobody lies for fun. You lie because you think you need to. Either to make yourself interesting, either to save your ass, either to save a relationship, either to protect someone, either to protect a secret, to protect somebody else, right? Right? The craziest thing, and this is something I learned very early on, is that people don't really care about the truth. They just want to hear something. They just want to hear a story. They just want to be entertained. Doesn't matter if it's true. Doesn't matter if they don't believe in you or not. When they're entertained, right? And to them, that's important. Was the story good for me or not? Then you tell your life story and nobody cares. Then you tell a couple lies and they're like, oh wow, okay, cool, right? And you're like, you piece of crap. I just told you my life story, you didn't care. And I lied and you're like, okay, cool. Anyway, I was talking about this yesterday. Right? The girl I was talking to on the King website, she told me an expression. I finally found out what it was. Bande passante, because she's from France. Bande passante is Wi-Fi. She doesn't want to use Anglicism, so she used the term bande passante, which is something I never heard before. But talking about this, unreliable narrator. You're telling me the truth. You're telling me the right story. You're telling it to me in a way that I don't understand. So the story's not interesting because I don't get it. My apologies. It has to be. Wow. Such a nice sunrise. Holy, you see the cloud? Wow. Look at this, guys. Look at this. How gorgeous it is. But I just realized you're way too close. Chill, bro, chill. Could still film on spot, but we're gonna be close. So yeah, so truth is entirely not relative. Truth is entirely matter of fact. You learn early on. You listen to music. You listen to System of a Down, right? And then they create this song called Sugar, right? And they tell you something about battle of ratings. And you don't know what that means, right? Then you understand later on what it means. You know what's insane? I did a video, one of my favorite videos I ever did, on the 40,000 video I did, which is now way more. Well, it depends. Do you view video that I made, or do you view video that I made for this channel? If you view video that I made in general, it's way more than 40,000. If you view channel videos, then there's not more than 40,000, right? That's all we have. Cheers. Oh, super nice. Super nice. Also, there was drama the whole night. We'll get the drama. I mean, this is what happened, right? When the subject of this morning, truth, lies, no. But we watched a movie called Easy A, and that's what we talk about, right? So, battle of system of rating. Battle of ratings. You get paid for it. The more popular your show is, the more independent it is, the more you stay on. Right? I was also watching this movie with Mel Gibson, which is called On the Line, which is shock radio, and they're shocking because people want. That's what people want to view. Yeah, that's what people want to view. That's what they need. That's what they want, right? It's cold this morning. It's cold today. It's really cold. Not really, really cold, but still. And yeah, so with this system of rating is the more interesting you are, the more rating you have. The more rating you have, the more you make. The more you make, the better you live. The better you live, the more you're happy. The more you're happy, the more you're excited or motivated to work. The more excited or motivated to work, the more motivated you get to get those ratings, right? You talk about a system of rating, talk about, well, I'm competing against somebody else. The system of rating is I get this amount of viewers, you get this amount of viewers. The rating says I get more viewers, meaning that I get better ratings, right? And with better rating, you get time slots. So this is something that was first seen in radio. The importance of that with the radio is that it was one of the first conventional media, and because it was one of the first conventional media, this was. Why is that important? Very good question. So before the radio, you still have storytellers, you still have people, journal, newspaper, right? But depending on where you were, you were getting a different journal, right? For example, let's talk about the Daily Bugle. I want to make this kind of nuts. I want to make this kind of fantastic, kind of weird, kind of special, kind of different. Daily Bugle for Spider-Man, from Spider-Man, right? You didn't get it in Metropolis, which is Superman. You didn't get into. You didn't get it in Gotham. It's a completely different franchise. My bad. Yeah, I've been watching Escape Pod, which is really good. Other than two guys as our champion, entertaining as which is not swearing. It's not me stuttering, although it could be seen as me stuttering, but no, it's avoiding to swear, which again is the pinpoint point of truth is relative, right? If you decided to understand that this is a clever way not to swear, but imply that I'm swearing, it's a positive thing. If you think I'm making fun of stuttering people, it's a negative thing. Perception. And I for so many years, this is gonna be a crazy subject, but I'm down with it. I'm super down to do this video today, because I think it's a good subject. I think it's fun. That was one of my biggest battles in life, right? At 22, I was lying a lot. I was lying. Why? Because my life was boring. Because people were happy. I was making people happy. I was depressed, suicidal. I just want to make people happy. What if I was to do it? It would be sad. Well, if I made them happy, I can justify making them sad. Prevention. Inducing a state of happiness to go with sadness. Right? That's manipulation. Manipulation isn't like lying or telling fibs. Manipulation is manipulating how a person feels or how a person think. Right? Multiple manipulation: emotional, how a person feel; financial, how people spend; mental, how people think. In the morning. Bless. Pray for these people. Pray for these people. Surge. If I was a first responder, and I'm saying if I was, there was a red light. And I was like, oh, I'm in traffic for a while. Would I turn on the sirens to pass the red light? Maybe. Is that fair? Is that okay to do? If I have the power, should I use it or should I abuse it? And is using your siren when it's a red light abusing the power or just using the power gifted to you, right? The whole I was talking about Spider-Man. When great power comes great responsibility. What's a great power? If I were skipping a red light, is that great power? What's your responsibility? It's all part of the bigger plot of what is what, who is whom, where is where, what is what. I did say that already. Who is whom? I don't know, you know? Going back to truth and relative, right? System of rating. One of my favorite videos that I did, which was last year, and this is insane. Because it was Anchorman. Not a sponsor. Anchorman, which is what? It's a movie by I don't know whom, featuring Will Ferrell. And it's poking fun at news reporter. So for example, in the first movie, is this really dumb guy. He is following the prompt. He gets in trouble with the wrong people. He followed the prompt, says something outrageous. People hate it. And so I was reading the prompt and nobody believes him. Because there's no way that you made that mistake, but he did. The second movie, however, is the system of rating. Right? And this is interesting. This is really interesting. Because this is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. But not in the sense of financial, not in the sense of monetary gain, right? In the sense of unfairness, right? It's easy to become rich when you were already rich, or your parents were rich, than when you were broke. A lot of people make it out being broke. Very few people go from broke to from rich to rag to riches, right? I can't talk. So the system of rating is that. So the system of rating, how it works. Let's talk about radio. Radio is a fantastic example. You just started. You're like, okay, well, people are really watching radio. People are really paying attention to radio. But guess what? People are working a 9 to 5. Okay. So people are working at 9 to 5. So we have this problem where there's a lot less people listening during the day. Okay. Well, also people go to sleep because they're working 9 to 5, right? So between 9 to 5, not a lot of people will listen to it. Between 12, I don't know. People, if you work at 9, you sleep at what time? I don't know. Because technically speaking, you would sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then you gotta get the kid to school, you gotta get ready, you gotta do I don't know what you gotta do in the morning. No people do the dishes, I guess? Yeah? Yeah? I don't know. There's traffic, it's like a traffic. Normal people aren't late, always. Some shit like that. Some bullshit, you know? And yeah, so you understand that, and you're able to say, okay, well, most people that start at 9 leave the house at 7:30, right? So from 5:30 to 7:30 could be prime time, right? But if people leave from 7:30 to 9:30 because in the car you listen to the radio, that's your prime time. So this is when people are stuck in traffic and are willing to listen, right? And then you realize the time slots that are still worth a lot today is going to work and coming back from work. From 8 to 9, from 5 to 6. Oh, my apologies. right? We get a lot of French channels here, and it basically shows called Le Retour à la Maison, which is basically coming back home. I'm coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my children's awake, and I forgive them yesterday. Coming home, coming home. Let the world that I'm coming home. Great song. I don't know who sing it. I used to know. But then, what's more important? The song is a good song, and the song is relative. I'm gonna have to give him a little bit, guys, because I don't know why is I don't have the time to do what I have to do. If you see me looking down, I hope you forgive me, right? I'll pretend, for the sake of this video, I'll pretend like I'm sad. For the sake of the video that's talking about being honest and genuine, I'm sad, so I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna pour some water here, right? And I'm gonna talk looking down, but we're actually playing a game. Why? I think it's casual. And I realized that I wasn't using my time as properly as possible. So by doing what we're doing something better. Which is what? Doing everything and anything at the time. So multitasking. Griffin, because I'm doing this, I'm going to be focused, but still be able to make a good video, right? So the average like that, you had automatically bigger rating, right? So what you did is, and this is the cash 2022. It's 22, but I'd like to say 2022 because, like, oh, was it when it was invented? No, dummy. It's just a saying, right? So with this, it's kind of cool because you're stuck, right? There's two things, right? Either you're stuck with the time slot that you have. Time slot meaning, okay, well, is your show popular, or is your show not popular? So I watch on YouTube a show called Jubil and I don't know the name. Wow, that's very believable, Inc. Very believable. Brooke and Jubil. Brooke. And Jubal. He's not African, but I'm gonna make him African. I'm gonna race swap him, just for the sake of sensationalism, just for the sake of we want rating here, right? We're going after ratings. So you're gonna make him a Jubal, which is a very traditional name in a country that I don't know, never heard of, right? And they do a second date. So they do like sort of like prank call, but it's not really prank call. So you have a date and then you're like, okay, well, that date didn't go well, here's why. And they call the person, it's like, hey, why didn't you call her back? What happened during the date for you to say, hey, not with me, girl? What happened? It's actually very interesting. It's interesting, why? Because people are interesting. People have a story to say, right? Now, we can argue that this is staged, this is not true. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of shit are staged. The whole thing for Streamer University is staged. The whole thing with LCU scripted. I just have a problem. My problem is I don't know the difference between scripted and staged. I know the same. We're doing this. You're gonna see me clicking once in a while. And now we have to do it for 40 seconds. So you're gonna see me doing something else, and I hope you forgive me. And I hope you forgive me, cause I'm trying my best. Cause I can still feel your presence going to fade. I can only put so much in my fucked up brain, and the pills that I've been taking just accentuate the pain. So I build my own wooden home to rest my felt frame. Nothing a bit of energy drinks can fix. Ask your doctor. Got a shit ton. Ooh. Ew. I love being able to do that. Cause yes, can you guys wait? Can you guys understand that I'm trying to do something because I'm busy? No. We're in a system of rating, right? So Jewel and Brooks are actually super popular. But when you look at the time slots, you realize it's what? It's before work. So possibly people going to work. Possibly people on the road. Possibly people in the traffic. Can you believe that? and they turned on the radio, and they have a bunch of radio channel, right? They choose one, right? So there you go. So the system of rating, which was not invented with, but popularized with radio, I think, I'm not sure. I'm not an historian. You know what? You know what? Frig that. Who popularized my cock? Mikehawk. The system of rating. Oh, I wrote this in YouTube. Very nice. Not the intent. If we Google, popularize the system of rating. Okay, cool. A company created by the name of Vendetta popularize. Okay, dude, cut the line. I'm sorry. Because rating refers to many different things, the pioneer depends on the specific system. Competitive games, chess and video games, are by Elo, a Hungarian American physics professor, popularized the Elo rating system. Actually, whether a player relative skill, that's not what I'm looking for. Movie and media, okay. The Motion Picture Association, MPAA, implemented and popularized the age-based classification. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. System of rating views. Coming home. Okay. Wine. Okay, so now they give me a system of points. That is not what I'm looking for. You outdated piece of crap. You get what I'm saying, right? So now that we have a system of rating, Brook and Jubal, which were getting a lot of views in the morning, right? So back then, what we would do is, okay, well, we have a commentator, because back then, what was really popular was either church shows, we're talking about back in the day of radio, church shows and games. I was watching this in history class. I told you that I did history yesterday, right? I wasn't joking. I know it sounded like I was joking, but I wasn't. And the cool thing with history class is it wasn't always like super old history. It was sometimes modern, and when it was modern, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Versus like, oh my god, this was so long ago, right? Can't believe people did that. And the coolest thing here is that you're talking about because I remember it being being a professor, which is a profession, which is not a person. Profession is it, right? Not a they them. You have to be respectful. Talking about how back in the days, radio had docu-series, so not docu-series but teledrama. You basically had a show on radio, and you're like, oh my god, it's like a soap opera, right? Which is why people still watch like Young and Reckless, Bold and Beautiful, and now you're saying, oh, Ing, that's so mean that you said, oh, people watch that. No, dude, I'm talking about the pioneer. I'm talking about the system of rating, the most popular show for this age group, right? Right, cool. So yeah, and then they were like, you know what? There's something to do here. We could do a radio show or a radio channel and would have it for 24 hours, right? Now, this is cool because we're gonna go from the past to the present. I am watching a show. Okay, I'm watching a show, which is called LCU, which is the Local Universe, which is something Keen did, which is taking locale and creating shows with them. When you realize that the genius isn't using the locale, the genius isn't the content itself, because content kind of sucks sometimes, you know. I say sometimes, I mean often. When I say often, I don't mean always, right? So where do I draw the line between it sucks and when it doesn't suck? I won't tell you that way. I'm not pointing the fingers or judging people on what they do, right? So a bit of an asshole comments, but not a direct asshole comments, which makes it forgivable, I guess. I'm coming home. See, all I have to do is this. 30 seconds. And we're Gucci. Oh my god, look at that face. You look like my next mistakes. Love the game, wanna play. But it's important, something important. Why? Because it's a 10-minute cooldown, which is times 5. My God, it's so nuts. You realize that there's 5. Okay, so that's not true. Okay, so you realize that there's 5 and there's 10 minutes cooldown. So the first one you get is free because you waited the whole night. You have to wait 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, which is 40 minutes. Dumb. Bikinis. The answer was bikinis. No, it wasn't. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. I don't know. I don't know. Coming home, coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Passed away, walk away. All my pain of yesterday. No, my children. Usually I would do this when I'm inside, which would take me like 2 hours. So if I can save time, it's better. Is it interesting for you guys? No. But oh well. When you go to commercial break, is it interesting? No, but you still stay. There's no difference. Which is also part of the day. Conversation, right? The system of rating, I was going with the LCU, the local universe, was that, which is basically MCU, so 10 points for Gryffindor for your lack of originality. I should possibly give 10 points to Hufflepuff because let's face it, they won't win this year. 10 points for Hufflepuff just for trying. A rule from District 13, I guess. Was it 13? Was it 10? I don't remember. But Rue, you rock. The coolest mule girl in the entire Hungry Game universe. The only mute girl, but hey. I'm gonna argue about are we gonna be arguing about specification? I don't think so. I don't want to argue with you. Because you'll win. So yes, so with the LCU, what's kinda cool is you have time slots, right? The most popular content creator get the time slots. And that's what the money is, right? And then the least popular content creator are getting the shitty time slots, which are 3 or 4 o'clock, right? Now, ultimately speaking, this is a prison, right? So if you're in the social media or in the radio, let's go back to radio, because that was a good example for time slots, to explain time slots, right? If you're a content creator or a media worker, you realize that, okay, well, I'm in the time slots where there's next to no hope, right? We get 12 to 20 viewers, but we are at 3 o'clock in the morning. And everybody's sleeping, right? So I'm getting stuck there. Versus in person, that's coming back from work, it's 4 o'clock. Don't know what to watch. When you don't know, let's put it back, right? Most of you guys didn't know that. Sorry. Most of you guys didn't experience that, but I'm talking about my generation. The extremely old, but young and boldful. You guys remember when there was nothing on TV? What you would do? Okay, so in the back we got somebody saying, I would zap the TV, absolutely. So when you're watching something and it's not interesting, you zap. You can change channel. That person, the right time slots, is just a person that is more likely to receive somebody that doesn't find anything to watch, right? And if you're entertaining and the person stays, that's a rating. You stole the rating from a show, right? And this work with people, but it's also work with TV shows. What was your favorite shows at 8 o'clock at night? What was your favorite shows on at 4 o'clock at night? Because you weren't home. Because you were busy making the supper. Because you were busy doing your own work. Right? Right. So all of this is all part of a system of rating. The system of rating, I'm saying, the problem with that is if you have a bad time slots or you have a bad things, there's no coming back, right? And then, so what's the importance, monetary importance? Because let's face it, everything I said so far is a business, right? So the business side of the time slots is there's more viewer, it's more attractive for. I'm gonna give you guys a challenge, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. I'm gonna give you guys 2 challenges, okay? It's more interesting for an advertiser, okay? to have a lot of views. It's more expensive though. So for example, time slot number one, which is the most popular, which is the 4 to 6 p.m., right? It will cost an amount. The time slot B, which is from 1 to 3 a.m. There's next to nobody, right? It's a lot cheaper. I want you guys to do me a favor, try it out, right? I want you guys to wonder what is the most busy time slots. I want you guys to watch the ads that are there, and I want you to do the same thing when it's 3 or 4 in the morning. Completely different. Completely different. I don't know if you guys have watched cable TV, but sometime in the afternoon, you know when you don't have class, sorry, when you don't have work, there's a day, and you're like, oh my god, I got a day off. There was no electricity at work. I didn't want to go in, so I pretended I was sick. I called in sick, but I wasn't sick. I'm still gonna watch. Oh. Everybody gets on the floor. No, 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 no. Do, 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 do. Love you, but I want 2 steps. I love you, but I want 2 steps. Love you, but do, do, do. No storage. Hmm. No storage. Shit. And there we go, we're back. And there we go. So, no storage. I apologize. But then I also realized that I didn't have Wi-Fi, which is insane. We do have Wi-Fi, I just have to fix it. Shout out to my mom, by the way, because today she's gonna call to get me a, well, not get me a, but activate my voicemail. Shout out to her. We missed about 2 minutes, not even kidding, which was enough for the sun to go out. And it does seem like it took a lot longer than expected, but it didn't, which kind of sucks. Because a couple more minutes I needed to have this. Oh well. So yeah, so I'm talking about the system of rating, right? And this is really cool, because then you realize that if you're in the bad time slots, it's very hard to go away, right? But sometimes the problem is not leaving your time slot, the problem is not getting better rating. Sometimes the problem is, okay. Phone closed because there's no more batteries, which is okay. Why? Because we have only, come on dude, it shouldn't be too hard. I only have 50 minutes. So where you close, it's not gonna affect me. It would affect me if it was like an hour more. Ugh. What am I doing, guys? I have to deal with that shit. I love you, dirty 1-2 steps. Love you, TikTok 1-2 steps. I hate you. There you go. It's already restarted. I'm going to be able to tell you when it closed, which should be important for what I'm going to try to say. It was closed a grand total of, oops, you don't tell me. Love you, but I want 2 steps. I hate you, but I want 2 steps. Look, oh, wrong one. The number of times I'm choosing the wrong recorder is crazy. Okay, come on, give me the good answer. You're supposed to be maximum 55. You're supposed to be maximum 53. That's the wrong one. Stop, dude. I don't give a frig about this. At least Wi-Fi is working, which is good. We got 10 more gig, it's okay. Because this is not gonna last for a long time. For some reason my phone didn't charge yesterday. When I say what, my phones, I mean almost all of them didn't charge, which is bananas. Oops, ooh, bananas. Are you connected to the Wi-Fi? Okay. No internet access. Sounds like bullshit. That sounds like bullshit. Okay, good. Perfect. So guys, you tell me that they're connected, there's no Wi-Fi. Why? It's so cold. It's not a problem with it overheating. Whew. had to make the effort. It's not gonna work. What can I do? Damn if we do, damn if we don't. Right? C'est la vie. C'est la vie, mon ami. Bam, bam, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-bam. Yeah, it's not working, but it's okay. It's not okay because I wouldn't talk about it if it was okay. It's not okay. I have to deal with that shit. You know, and it's working now. See, all you need to do is ask the world. But in the universe, that my Wi-Fi should be working. So because people were trying to keep the rating, we start dealing with people that were lying, right? So this is called sensationalism. And socialism is talking about a subject that you know is going to be a problem. So then you're saying, okay, I understand that you have ADHD, but some of what you said didn't make any sense. No, it does make sense. So if you look at talk about Anchorman deals with that. Anchorman talks about essentialism. So basically, they're talking about how they weren't having any rating because of that. They were stuck at a shitty time slots because of that. The rating keep dropping. They were losing budget. They would get fired, right? So what they start doing is, in the movie, of course, car chase. There was a new kind of media, and people were falling head over heel for that. Like, dude, this shit is awesome. This shit is unbelievable. We should do that more. So we were going for shock value because shock value gave us what? Shock value gave us more ratings, right? And then what they would do is to get a list of the news. We're talking about the radio, we're talking about TVs. I would get the news, right? When you hear of a show, let's talk about show also. Let's talk about movies, right? Why are some shows canceled? The ratings were low, right? Why were they low? Because people didn't tune in, right? And ultimately speaking, it doesn't matter if you didn't or not, right? The algorithm, so we're gonna go back to the future a little bit, right? The future, which is right now, right? Because of the past. Algorithm is what? Algorithm rewards content creators that get a lot of views by promoting them. Why? Because you take any website, let's say YouTube, an example, right? YouTube want more people to go on his website, so they're going to promote videos that have a lot of views. Why? Well, either the content creator that did them is popular, either the content is good. No matter why, people are going to his channel or her channel, right? Is be inclusive. My apologies. Golly. Yeah, Wi-Fi is working well. I just have to restart it, which is great. So by doing this, you're promoting channels that are working well. That way people, they think that your website is amazing because you're promoting videos that are having a lot of views. You don't see, when you look at your like For You page, if you will, when you look at what is offered to you, you see two things. Either videos that are very popular or video about subject that you searched before. You are a big car guy. Because you're a big car guy, a lot of videos that you're going to see are going to talk about cars. This is where you get some people with a bit less views, a bit less followers, right? But ultimately speaking, you see who? You see big name, right? I told you a story before, which is a completely true story. I was trolling somebody. Why? I thought that person was a piece of shit and I thought they deserved justice. It wasn't up to me to deserve justice. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's the truth, right? So, by saying this, I was getting blocked, which meant that I was creating accounts, which meant that I was creating email. All of these, what I would do is I would create an account. I would go on YouTube, right? And what I would do for the YouTube, I would do, I would write in comments. I would always write in comments in, for example, Phase Rock video or Mr. Beast video. Why? Because when you do that, you create a YouTube account, right? So when you use the Google account, because who owns YouTube? Google, right? So when you do that, what happens is they recognize your account as being a real one. Why? Because there is a YouTube channel. So they do to create a YouTube channel. You follow somebody or you leave the comments. Leaving comments is faster. and take the first video. Long story short, I created over 20 accounts, right? All of these had one thing in common. The first video I was seeing is Mr. Beast on my For You page. So by promoting Mr. Beast, of course you're gonna get the top because you keep on promoting him, right? So again, with the algorithm, there's a system of rating, which is the same thing, right? This is still a system that is very present today, right? Let's go back to Anchorman, which is a movie as a joke. But again, my favorite video to do because they introduce sensationalism. You have a list of news that you have to present. Okay, this is gonna have high rating. This people are not gonna like it. Let's not talk about this. So you're not telling this the news. You're not telling a story. You're not telling a story. You're telling people what you think they want to hear, right? How many people are going to tune in to watch sports on the radio, on TV, on social media? A lot of people. How many people are going to tune in to watch porn? How many people are going to be tuning in to watch the latest TMZ news or celebrities news scandal? Who slept with who? Who got caught stealing? And these are not they sound archaic, but they still to this day are very present in society. We still are curious. We're still a pervert for celebrities, right? So that's what you do. That's what you do. You know, these are gonna get ratings, so you do it, right? This is why shows like Survivor have 50 seasons. This is why shows like Big Brother has 30 seasons. This is why shows like Bachelorette or Bachelor has 50 seasons. Because the ratings are still good. Now what you create a loyal fan base, which you have ratings. So even if you don't change anything, you have a base amount of rating. And that base amount of rating can only go up because people have been watching for 30 years will not stop watching. Sound good? Sounds great, right? I was farting, but there's no fart. It was something else. So this is a system that still works to this day, right? So with that, and all of this, why are we talking about this? Why are we mentioning this? What is the point of talking about this? What is the point at all? There's no point, right? Well, there is a point. And the point is actually quite simple. The point is that, what I was saying before, truth is relative. It's true. Truth is relative and it's true. People stop chasing the truth. People start chasing the news that were interesting. How many people are going to do fake news? I gotta go bathroom again, sorry. 60%, okay. Gotta hurry. And there you go. And there you go. Told you. It's not gonna be long. So, this video because I have to go because of the batteries. We're still good, but not great. Yeah, not good, not great. Like I was saying, all of this is saying the news, right? So the news. When you understand, okay, sorry guys, I went wrong. Why is this not working? They're making me buy stuff. No, I think I'm good. I spent enough for a lifetime. Good. You're done? You're at 10%. Have to be careful with you. Okay, good. See, so when you understand that rating, right, is leading of everything, right? So you understand that the news is presented to you, or what is being told to you. I was talking about fake news, right? How many times did you see an article that was not true? You believe it because you saw it, right? One of the better examples is Oliver Tree, rest in peace, who died last month. Oliver Tree had the habits of making jokes and doing a bit of shock content. So when you saw that, what did you say? This is not true. I don't believe that this is true. He's not dead. But guess what? He was dead, right? So you questioned something. You didn't question it because it was him. You questioned because you were told in your life some fake news. You didn't question it because it was him. You were told before something that you noticed were kind of fishy, right? So when you present, and I wanna talk about the news because news is information, and information is knowledge. So this is important. Like nobody really cares if Charlotte D'Amelio got a BBL, right? And if she did, congrats. But if she didn't, it's not a big deal, right? But when you present the news, because that's important, right? You realize there's something called fear mongering, right? So fear mongering is presenting something. For example, there was a terrorist attack, right? And it was just like, for example, this country did some testing on some missile, right? They didn't use it, they didn't attack people, nobody got hurt, nobody got injured, everything is good, right? They're gonna talk about it because essentialism. So why don't you hear every single day that somebody died, somebody got shot, somebody got arrested? Because this is fear mongering, right? They don't want to scare population. So they control something, which is fear mongering. They don't want to tell a story that will make you afraid, because it's a way to control people, and for just not control, but just people feeling safe. Which feeling safe in your own country or in your home neighborhood or in your home version of society. Because every single continent, every single culture has a different sense of society, and they're all good. It's not a question of who is better, it's a question of perception. Right? And this is where I want to go, right? Which is the most important part. We're almost done here. Sorry guys, I know this is boring, but gotta do shit. By doing shit that nobody does, that you go places where nobody went. Nobody went there because it's possibly not the best place. But then who cares? Even, you know what's crazy? Look at the mentality, right? It's by doing things that nobody does, that you go places where nobody went. But there's a reason why people don't go there, because it doesn't make any sense, right? However, you might be popular or you might be a legend because it didn't matter if it didn't make sense or it didn't make sense. You still chose to go there. And for that, you were the only one that went there. And for that, you're a pioneer, right? We're talking about the first person who climbed the Mount Everest. There's a bunch of people before that. They just didn't make it, right? Were they less of a legend than the guy who did it? No. They had the same idea, they had the same mentality. They're the same, like, hey, we're gonna go up there. We're gonna reach the highest peak of this planet. And will be remembered forever and ever. And that, my friend, that is where legends are made. No more batteries, so that's okay. How much batteries do you have? You got 14, that's pretty good. That is pretty good indeed. That is pretty good. Right? So, you're being told stories, or you're being told stuff that is mindful of two things. I made a mistake, sorry. I threw the phone. which is no big deal because I'm leaving soon. I'm leaving soon. I'm leaving soon. So yeah, so you're being told things and remembering two things, right? Fear mongering is it something that's gonna make the population panic? The citizen panics? Because again, panicking is chaos, and you cannot control chaos, right? And if the news I'm gonna say isn't gonna get enough rating because I got sponsors, I got things. For example, I follow. I'm gonna be honest. I follow a certain amount of porn star. You know, I'm a freak. I'm a freak, right? And there was a specific porn star that I was following, and she did a very specific video, which she posts on her OnlyFans. I didn't watch it, right? Because I don't pay for sex. I'm desperate, but not that desperate, right? And again, if you do, more power to you. I don't. And she was sad because she did a video and the content flopped. She wasn't sad because the content flopped. She's like, hey, I had this sponsor, and now people are not gonna try the product because it flopped. So then the next time the person or the product is gonna the next time the the person's gonna be looking for someone to sponsor or someone to try their toys, they're not gonna ask me. There's this other video when you cut avocado. Yeah, also an OnlyFans. No, I'm joking. There was this other content, right? And he used to usually sponsored by a company called Cold Water, which was a company of water bottle, right? But then we saw that a lot of the big mukbanger had this sponsor, so they realized that people were eating, were also drinking, and at the table you want to see the nice like bottle, right? So by saying this, then the sponsor kind of left, right? Battery is dead. It's okay. Almost done. We're almost done, guys. Told you nothing charged. Why? Well, that mask will wait last second, right? So I'm gonna wait until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to charge things. When I could have waited until 1 o'clock. But hey, that's my fault. And now we're bringing consequences. We're going to the right wire. Le temps de bohème, coule dans nos veines, viens vers moi. And yes, the AC is strong, so we're going to turn that down. Right, good, perfect. I don't know if it's going to charge enough, and it's not, but it's okay. We'll restart after that, no problem. So yes, so you gotta think about your sponsor, you gotta think about the people that are paying the bills, you gotta think about your contract, right? We offer them on a rating, which is why they pay us. Imagine. Another thing that you have to understand is, like for example, Super Bowl. Oh, sorry guys. Super Bowl, right? So the Super Bowl, how much money it is to have an ad? A lot, right? Where? Why? Because the ratings are high. And that's all that matters. Rating, right? What's being said, because that's also important. You got approved. Freaking news. Anchorman made fun of it, but it's still something that's very real. Anchorman and Anchorwoman, they're being fed what is said. So the information that you're receiving via various media Not charging, and that fucking sucks. It's not charging.
Are you looking for a... I love... Who? I got $32,000 credit with Trax. Where's my... I'm just kidding. $32,000? That's a lot of money. Okay, we're going to have to load this man up at this point. We do it very simple. Cost plus how much percent? Whatever you want to do. Our fair markup would be, what percent would you say? What's a fair... I don't want to... It's very... Listen, yes. 7%. 7%? You want to cut my dick off? This money's my partner. No, that's right. I mean, now listen, come on, bro. 15% is fair? Yeah, 15% is perfect. That's what I was going to say. I appreciate it. All right, that was a number I had in my head. 15% plus cost price. This lion head I'm going to take. All right, cool. This upside down diamond chain I'm going to take. I'm going to try to be your easiest client. Right. That's my goal. 15%, you'd be at 13 for that one. It's no problem. Okay, yeah. So you did that? Okay, 13 bands is fair? Done. You want to do my opal joint too? Yeah. If you don't mind. This was set by me. It's a one of one. You've got my whole collection at this point. I know. But you want it? I would love it. Okay, let's weigh out the chain and weigh out this piece. So we got 40 grams of 24 karat over here. Okay, 33.5 grams of 14K over here. Okay, so with labor, how much would that be, Moses? We're teaching the public. 200 a gram with labor.
I don't have this. I don't have the batteries, dude. Fuck me. Fuck me, bro. No fucking storage, bro. What a shame. No, I don't want that. Apologies. Apologies. And we're back. I'm so sorry. The battery died in my hand, dude. And this is sad because my workflow is now done. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't remember because all of this is at the dome. When it's at the dome, you don't have to remember stuff, but you don't have to think about stuff, right? But like I was saying, when you're fighting propaganda, you're fighting the system of rating, right? And when you see that not the whole truth is being told, you realize that not the whole truth needs to be told, right? So there's news that they decide, okay, well, we're not gonna let that, we're not gonna present that, it's not important enough, it's not worth the precious time that we have, right? So you start realizing that the truth is relative, and what is important here isn't the concept of truth that's relative. The concept of telling the truth is relative. The concept of being presented with the truth is relative. And this is where a lot of people get lost. A lot of people get lost by seeing, like, okay, well, I heard it on TV, I heard it on whatever. Podcasts were their big problem. During the pandemic, there was a lot of misinformation, right? A lot of misinformation. And that was damaging because people truly believe. I'm not going to say who misinformation, I'm not going to say where it was misinformation, but there was. And when you see that, you're like, okay, well, who can I trust, right? The people that you connect, if the people that you're questioning the truth, also makes it relative. Why? Because there's only one truth. There's only one relative truth. I'm gonna go somewhere that I shouldn't go, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Religion. Religion. The simple fact that there's multiple religion, and again, I'm not trying to be offensive, right? But the simple fact that there's multiple religion makes you question religion. If there was only one religion, there would be no question. It's okay, well, there's only one religion, so it must be the right one. Otherwise, why only one, right? And then you create doubt, right? And because you created doubt, you created questioning. And ultimately speaking, questioning is the most, if not, well, it is the most important part of everything. Why? Because when you start asking questions, you start wondering. When you start wondering, you start making up answer yourself. Here's the situation. In my past situation, here is the knowledge that I have. Here's the life knowledge that I have. Here is how my surrounding, where I was born, my parents, my friends, think of the situation, and then I'm able to make a informed judgment. It might be the wrong judgment. It might be the wrong information, but I'm making a decision. So why is that more important than the truth, right? Because even if you make a mistake, the fact that you did a decision, even if you did a mistake, the fact that you make that choice will always be more important than just doing something because you're told what to do, right? And this is the problem with truth. When you present it with something called the truth, but you don't know if it's the truth and you don't question if it's the truth, then you follow, right? Dante's Inferno is a great choice for that. Dante's Inferno story, the whole story, and this is a book that dates. It's possibly like one of the oldest book there is. Dante's Inferno is a story of a paladin, right? Who does a crusade, right? And he's being told that whatever he does, he's gonna be forgiven because he got the grace of God with him, right? So then he does some horrible act, right? His wife, which is pure, she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. She's a pious woman. She is beloved. She is an amazing person. She gets sent to hell, right? So Dante is like, no. She didn't do anything wrong. I'll die for her. I will go to the depth of hell for her. So you're gonna give me back my wife, my Beatrice, right? Because the name of the character is Beatrice. It's a fantastic name, by the way. You can try something crazy. I'm gonna try. If that doesn't work, but I'm gonna try something crazy. Please work, please. Good, because I don't want to have another problem with the batteries, right? So, because he's being told that what he does is all forgiven, Dante starts causing action, right? So he goes to hell, and every single level of hell is for a certain type of person. The people that unalive themselves, the people that were greedy, the people that were gluttonous, the people that were lazy. I don't remember all of them, right? But it's basically the seven deadly sin. And what happened is he is guided by somebody called Virgil, right? And Virgil presents him a lot of his past, right? So he was like, hey, there was this person, right? And she offered you sex in exchange to free her brother or her husband, and you took it. So you took a bribe and you did adultery, right? Which is a sin. You walked away on your wife, except with another woman, right? And then, so that's one. Another one, you realize that his father was greedy, right? You realize that his mom unalived himself. So Dante is presented with all of these people that he thought was pious, himself included, that weren't pious. They sin, right? Now this is very old school. This is very religious. This is very in the past, but that's what it is, right? And then you realize that he believed that everything that he was doing was righteous, so he didn't question anything. If he didn't question anything, he did some sin, which is why he belonged in hell. And that's the whole story. It's a fantastic story. But the moral of the story is he was told a truth, and because he believes that that was the truth, he did what he had to do, which broke every single thing that he believed in. He believed in the teaching of the church, he believed in the teaching of God, and he didn't follow because he was told that he was going to be forgiven. And he believed that. False prophets. Right? Now, am I calling media as false prophet? No, but I'm telling you that it's a teaching that you show. And as long as you think that everything that they're saying is the truth, as long as you think that everything that they're saying is the entire information that you need, you're not doing research on by yourself. For example, right now, this is a huge problem, right? The huge problem is Google. Well, I'm not saying that Google is a problem. The usage of Google is a problem. I have this question. I don't know the answer. I'm gonna go on Google right away, right? Am I gonna go for five or six, seven results? No, I'll go for the first one. I'll go for the first one. Chat GBT. I have this question. Will I even make the effort to look for it? No, I'll ask ChatGPT. If ChatGPT tells me something that's mistakes, right? There's this famous clip I'm gonna show you. It's a great clip. It's a, and of course you're not uploading, but that's okay. I forgive you. You have sinned, and I forgive you. You have sinned. See, if I wasn't talking about this, I wouldn't check. We just spent 10 minutes waiting for the batteries. I didn't check. Why? Because I thought the truth was I was uploading. So not that it wasn't truth. Did I lie? No. Truth is relative. And there you go. This is one example, but it's the best example. GSP versus AI. Yeah.
Watch this. Give me any.
Look.
ChatGPT. You know about that? Yeah. Are you on this? Good. ChatGPT. You know about that? Yeah.
You know, Josh,
Give me any question you have.
Who's the animal in history that has the biggest bite force of all animal kingdom?
Hey, I'm sitting here with my buddy George. Who's the animal in history with the biggest
Bite force in animal kingdom of all time.
Hey there. So, if we're talking about the animal with the absolute strongest bite force in history, the winner is usually the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yep.
Is that right?
That's all right. I think the Megalodon beat the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Answer that.
You got me there. Yeah, the Megalodon is definitely another top contender.
You proved ChatGPT wrong.
I know a big deal about paleontology, that's why.
I've never seen that before. ChatGPT. You know about
Yeah,
that?
and of course, this is one instance, right? This is one instance, and I'm gonna be something that I love you, George. You're a French Canadian, the pride of our nation. Fucking love you, George. But knowing that and beating ChatGPT for that, is that important? Is that life changing? No. It should just prove that it gives you the wrong answer. And as long as you think that this is the only answer, you'll not look forward. So if you keep on telling people that it is Tyrannosaurus Rex, what you're doing is misinformation, which is I died. Which is a crime, right? So you are a criminal by misinformation. And this is the whole question. I was talking about media before. When you're being fed information through the teleprompter, are you actively looking for that? No. And it's a question of trust also. I trust what the information I have to be presented for. Look at this. 10 hours yesterday. So we worked for 10 hours from 8 to 5. Insane. It'd be fun to upload. Plus, it's a smaller video, so it's gonna be easy to upload. So yeah, and to go back to the truth is relative content or question, right? The second, the second when there's more than one truth, truth is absolute. There's only one answer, right? You can question truth. The question, the when you're being told on information, are you questioning the information? Or are you believing it without shadow of a doubt? You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should question things, which is questioning truth. But then at the same time, if you're being fed the wrong answer, just like ChatGPT, and you know that's not a wrong answer, and you do the research, like, hey, guess what? Guess what? Well, technically speaking, no. I did the research. I informed myself, right? I was talking about ChatGPT as a problem and Google as a problem. We find this one solution. I need a yes or no answer. I don't need to know why. I don't need to know where. And as long as I get the yes or no question, as long as I get the yes or no answer, I don't really care if it's yes or no. I got an answer. I have something I didn't have before. I am closer to knowledge, right? And knowledge is power, right? I was talking about yesterday about people in the comments, and one of the guy he answered something. Well, talking to a comment, and the way he was talking, it was very like a couple mistakes here and there, which is not a big deal. You didn't have the most education. That's your fault. That's okay, right? Problem is the presentation of that information. If you see a bunch of people that don't make an effort to write correctly or not make mistakes, then you're not gonna make mistake effort yourself. That's the kind of knowledge, right? So if truth is absolute, there's only one truth. If truth is being presented to you, don't take it as a truth. Question yourself. Hmm? If something is too good to be true, we question it. So if something is too bad for us, we don't question it. How does that make sense, right? So and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just for that, this is the point I was trying to make, which is that truth is relative. Talking about Anchorman, they present it as a comedy, but that's what they're talking about, right? That's what they're talking about, right? Think about it yourself. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's not a problem. It's not a. I'm not aiming at anybody. I am not judging, right? But ask yourself, when is the last time that I researched something? What's the last time that I researched information? When's the last time I researched what happened during that day? When is the last time that I opened up a history book? When is the last time that I opened up a cultural book? When I pick up the journal, do I pick up the journal or do I pick up the the magazines, right? Also, when's the last time that I was presented information in a magazine or a newspaper, in the news, on social media, or that I checked? I mentioned this example, which was really good, which is Oliver Tree, right? Oliver Tree, people wondered if he was truly dead, and people were like, "Dude, I can't believe it." Not because they cared that much about the guy. Of course they cared, because otherwise they wouldn't care that he's dead. They wouldn't react with sadness when they hear that he died. But because this guy was known to do some shock content, they thought it was a prank, or they thought it was not real. It was fake news. That's how they looked, because they questioned the truth. That's one instance on how many instances when you should have questioned the truth. When you go to school, are you questioning what the teacher is saying? How many times does this teacher say something and then you come back home and you like looked it up? Am I saying that you should doubt your teacher? No, you should doubt truth. Right? This is the truth is relative. Is not a good thing, right? Truth has a value, but it doesn't have the value if we don't give it, right? And that's pretty much it. When you go to another example, you go to the restaurant, right? You have your meals, right? You find the meal expensive, but what you don't think is that, well, you know, there's the rent of the building, the restaurant, right? There's the price of the chef; they're not cooking for free. There's the price of an ingredient, right? Yeah, that's a price. There's a price where there's 40 seated places. You're a family of 4. You are 10% of the restaurant, and you might be 10% for an hour and a half, an hour and a half. You're gonna be ordering multiple meal. I'm not gonna be ordering one meal. So for an hour and a half, they're only gonna get this amount of money from you. This is why the waiter come back time to time and say, "Hey, is everything good here?" What is he trying to do? He's trying to sell you something to drink. He's trying to sell you some alcohol, some beverage, right? Hmm? You have to understand something. The creation of the loitering law was what? People were using space that could be used for customers, and the rich capitalism complained, right? Fun fact: you guys know around where I live, right? In my neighborhood, there's a Maxi there, right? About I want to say 15, yeah, I want to say about 15 years ago, I didn't have Wi-Fi, right? Even when I was at my father's place, I didn't have Wi-Fi. So what I would do, I would go places with Wi-Fi to download stuff so I can watch it, right? Even then, when I got my first iPod Touch, not even an iPhone, iPod Touch, right? And why is that important? Because I would go there, and every single day, there was a old group of people, right? And there's nothing wrong with being old. There's nothing wrong with socializing, which is great. We got some beautiful weather. There's a I can't film. But it's beautiful. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna film something and show you. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how. So this is gonna give me how much storage I have left. And we're back. I just want to show you something. So now we don't have any batteries, but look. The perfect weather. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, I could have filmed this, dude. What the heck? There you go. So behind the scenes is not super important, and I'm just gonna watch it. So, I can do whatever I want. And also, if you question truth, right? The question is not how it is the truth. Is how often can I get away with lying without getting in trouble? My parents were weird. Like I told you guys this story 1,000 times. My parents were weird. Sometimes there's things that I did that should have been corrected. I should have gotten discipline for it, but I didn't. And sometimes I would do small stuff, and it was a big deal. There was no constants. There was no rule of thumb of, hey, if I do this, I'm gonna get punished for this. You know, I was gonna get punished, but I didn't know the intensity. So I was fearful of doing the small things because I was afraid of being punished. But I would do the big thing because I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get punished, might as well worth it. So you didn't teach me the value of a wrong action. You taught me the fear of doing a wrong action because of consequences. But when there's no consequences, like for example with the jail, right? You know that if you do a crime, for example, if you unalive somebody, you get an amount of time. If you steal from somebody, you get an amount of time. If you sell weed, you get an amount of time, right? And some people, I'm not saying everybody, but when you do the crime, you hear that in a movie also. They're telling like, hey, if we get caught, you know how much time that is in jail? And they know the exact amount. You can find the information of how much time. And then, by knowing the information, you're asking yourself the question, is it worth it? But committing a crime should never be worth it. Because there's a reason why the law exists. To protect everyday people like you and I, right? So the second that you start questioning, like, hey, are the consequences worth it? It's like questioning if it's true, right? And like I was saying, the importance here is being able to answer the question of how often can I lie without getting in trouble. Because if a person they'll lie until they get in trouble. Like a kid, you have to teach them, you have to correct them, you have to discipline the kid. Otherwise, they're freaks of nature. They're just unable to live in society. And it's the fault of whom you weren't disciplined enough, right? I was looking at a video on TikTok, and it was a video about Gen Z discipline. And they were trying gentle parenting, it wasn't working. They were trying my generation, freaking discipline, and it was working. And you're like, dude, why did we change that? Oh, because there's law that protected children. Why? Because there was some abuse here and there, but at the same time, the abuse is very sad. And if you were abused as a kid, physically, sexually, mentally, psychologically, it's awful, right? But there's so many kids that needed a discipline. I was a trouble kid. I was a trouble kid. My mom. This story, man. This story. My mom, when I was young, I told this story before, but just not my favorite story. My mom, when I was a kid, very social, right? And my mom would complete stranger, and multiple time like an hour. Like we would go to a party. There was 10 people. I had to give a kiss on the cheek of the 10 people. And she's like, "Hey, there's this perfect stranger, Steph. Kiss, give it a kiss." As a baby, like, okay, no problem, no problem. And then I was 5 years old. I was 5 or 6. I was in kindergarten, right? And it was this girl, Catherine. And the worst thing is Catherine was super nice. She was super super nice. And Catherine, she liked me a lot. And I don't know. I think she had a romantic feeling for me. When I say I think, I'm pretty sure she did. Shout out to Catherine, by the way, if you're watching this. So Catherine, we get to talking, and Catherine, because she was raised watching Princesses movie, of course, Disney in the 90s, of course, thought it was a good idea to lean in and kiss me, right? And because I was forced to kiss people, random people, by my mom, what I did, I bit her. She thought I was going in for a kiss. I bit her. She had a mark. Now she doesn't have a scar, but she had a mark, right? And then my mom was like, I don't know why you did that. My father was like, I don't know either. Something is wrong with our kid. No, because my father, what he did, my father bit me. Yeah, swear to God, into the Bible. My father bit me. Said, huh? It hurts, huh? I'm like, yes, Dad. I won't do it again. It hurts. What did I do? I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I bit one of my friends. I'm lost in the game. Oh, baby, baby. No, but, and seriously, like, am I blaming my mom? Of course not. Of course not. I don't think she was responsible, but forcing me to kiss people was weird. It was weird. It was a complete stranger. Complete stranger. I didn't even know their name. Okay, give it a kiss. I don't fucking know him. Nor do I care to know him or her. There you go. And we're officially done with the gaming. And we can just chill. Took an hour 17. Golly. Tell you, if I was not doing this video, if I was 17, I don't have that time, right? So, yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks because it's all a question, right? Right? Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Sorry, there's a big video this morning. Just got super motivated. Now I got a headache though. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I love ya. Peace. Oh, I got an ethic. Okay. If I start filming, I have how much time? 30 minutes. Okay, let's go. Ugh. There's no way. Ah! I have to go. I have to go. I did a 2 hours video. Fuck. Yeah, there's a couple of technical problems though. That's supposed to be why. Innocent. Oh. Selfish. Dumb Link, it's your boy Ink on Computer Show. Just finished making videos. We did it 2 hours today. Talking. Truth is relative. Fuck, I got a lot of scars. Don't pop your pimple, guys. So now I just realized that it's 7:30. I need to take a shower. I need to take a bath. I need to go to upload, and I got to do it at my father's house at 8:30. So, yeah, let's freaking go. Play with your heart. I'll get a great video. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh. Ooh. Prime membership, huh? Cool. No doubt about. Cool. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Cool. No doubt. Everything else? I don't love everything else. Yeesh. Okay, so we gotta go, guys. We has got to go. We has got to go. What time is it? 7:50. Okay, I got ample time. Oh shit, Sword, you're about to die. Sword, we saved you. Last second. Last second, Sword. Whew. Good gracious. Goodness gracious. Now what I need to do is 2 quests. Good. Good. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. So, now I'm gonna go to my father's house, so I have to prepare myself. Prepare myself. Good night, merchant. Do we have stock to upload? Of course we do. We got nothing but stock to upload.